to Brian Gallant, who is standing by once again for us. Great to have you on the program again. Such a busy time. We appreciate it, Mr. Gallant.
Well, thanks for having me, Todd. I appreciate it.
So what's the latest? I know you've been out and about. You've actually been inside of people's homes, doing what you can and really getting the message out there. What's going on?
Well, a few things. I mean, I'll start off with what's inspiring. It's been fantastic to see New Brunswickers step up and help their neighbors, help their families, and help their friends. We really appreciate everything that people are doing, whether it be first responders or just people that want to step up and help their community. We thank them. And of course, we do have messages for them on how to stay safe. We are worried that there are people that are or will be isolated because of road infrastructure being flooded. And what will then happen, it may become increasingly difficult to be able to get them out of there, like you were mentioning, Todd. With that said, though, we have asked for the Canadian Coast Guard to come help us. We are going to be putting boats in these communities that are isolated so we can ensure that for emergency reasons or some type of support that we can offer them, that there will be a presence. But with that said, we have to let people know that it may become untenable to be able to get to them, to be able to reach them. So that's why we do ask those that have been impacted or those that will be impacted, and specifically those that would be isolated because of road infrastructure being flooded, that they evacuate. If they can go to a family or friend's house, that's great. And if not, there's the Canadian Red Cross that can help them find accommodations. They can call 1-800-863-6582.
We want to bring up the website as well as the two of us are speaking, just to give people more information about where they can go, which is, as you know, www.GNB, Government New Brunswick, gnb.ca for all the latest there, Riverwatch 2018. And I appreciate the situation is very fluid and very difficult to get some hard numbers, but are you getting any sense, Mr. Premier, of how big this evacuation could become?
Well, we're talking about a few thousand homes. So obviously, thousands of New Brunswickers are asked to find alternative accommodations, and we're there to support them in doing so. If they need to be reached by boat, we'll do the best we possibly can. And we have to say that in that way because we do have to recognize that it may be untenable because of debris, because of currents, because of water levels or other issues that make it very difficult to get to them. So that's why we're asking people if they can use the roads right now, and they are going to be cut off, or there's reports of them being cut off and isolated because of road infrastructure floods, that they evacuate now. But with that said, we are going to have a presence, again, with the Canadian Coast Guard and with our own resources to make sure that we can help those that are in emergency situations and support those that are isolated. We understand that New Brunswickers want to stay in their homes as long as possible. They want to protect their belongings. They want to protect their homes. We completely understand that. I saw that today touring. I even help people put up some of the sandbags that they need and bring some of their belongings to higher grounds from their basement to the main floor. So we completely sympathize and understand that. But at the same time, we have to understand that these levels will be like we've never seen before. If the forecasts are right, it will be the largest, most impactful flood we have seen on record in New Brunswick. And that means that it could be filled with surprises. And I don't want any New Brunswicker to be surprised and unfortunately isolated in a place that we can't reach them.
It strikes me this is such a personal story as well in many ways, because we're talking about people's homes and, you know, they are so attached to them, of course. What about the disaster financial assistance program of the province? People who are concerned now about how they're going to start rebuilding. Can you give us any updates on that?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me start off by saying you're absolutely right to say that there's an emotional attachment for many people to their homes. I'm one of those people. I'm from a small community in rural New Brunswick called Shediac Bridge. My family's lived on the same piece of land for 100 years. And I could just imagine what my reaction would be if there was a flood or a flood that was coming in that would impact my family home, the belongings that we have, all the memories that we have. So we completely understand. But things can be replaced. People can't. So we really want to keep people safe during these difficult times. Our number one priority at the moment is to get people out of harm's way and keep them safe. But you're right, there is also a disaster financial assistance program that we launched. This is, of course, to let New Brunswickers know that the financial hardship that they may be feeling or that they will feel if they have been impacted by the flood, there'll be a program in place for them. If people have insurance, obviously they're asked to go to their insurer first. If they don't have flood insurance, they can ask for disaster financial assistance. It's a program that we're very happy to cooperate with the federal government and that they can get some of the damage covered, if not hopefully all of it. So what we ask New Brunswickers during this very difficult time is to try to think about taking photos of the damage, keeping receipts of things that they're buying to replace things or to deal with the impacts of the flood. I know that's not their first priority, but if they can do that, it will make these claims, whether it's with the insurer or with the Disaster Financial Assistance Program, that much easier.
Wonderful to have you back with us. I know you got a lot of things to do, and we appreciate you taking time again, Mr. Premier.
Thank you very much, Todd, and we appreciate all you're doing to keep New Brunswickers informed about the floods.
Brian Gallant is the Premier of New Brunswick. We want to bring up that website once again if we can. www.GNB Riverwatch 2018 for all the very latest information on what is going on in the province. You can get all sorts of resources and updates there. If you're watching us in New Brunswick, please check out that website.